guys have any ID on you?
Do I have any ID?
Yeah.
I always have ID.
Okay, can I see it?
Why would I give you ID?
Is there any reason why you guys don't want to provide any ID?
Is there any reason that you would think
I just told you why.
No,
so they're concerned. So
you're not letting me finish my. You're not letting me. Let's keep it a cordial conversation.
It is a cordial conversation, but you're trying to run the conversation. That's not how this is going to go.
Is this a
But you're trying to run the conversation. That's not how this is going to go.
Is this a consensual conversation?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, then you have a nice day. Dela Cruz needs to learn when she's got legal authority, lawful authority, to ask someone for their identification.
I can ask anyone for ID.
You can ask, but you can't demand it.
I didn't demand it. I asked you for it.
Really?
Yeah.
You got to keep an eye on her. No, seriously. And I need you. What's your badge number?
259. I said it.
259. Okay,
right?
I need it for the complaint.
What are you guys doing?
I'm shooting a video.
For who?
What?
For who?
What is this? An interrogation?
It's a high-end luxury store here. Yeah,
well, normally you come out and say,
I'll call the police.
My name's Joe.
Okay. All right. I'm Lou. I'm the COO here.
Okay. Well, my name's Jason. I was saying usually people come out and say my name's Joe.
Okay. All right. I'm introducing myself.
Okay.
So what are you guys doing? Who do you work for?
That's a lot of questions. Man.
Today's video comes from the channel Amagansett Press. In downtown Englewood, New Jersey, he was filming on a public sidewalk when this store owner rushed out and started grilling him like an interrogation. When he didn't get the answers he wanted, the owner immediately ran back inside to call the police. And that's where the misunderstanding of public filming rights begins.
What's going on? That's a lot of questions, man.
All right, well, I'm going to call police.
You're going to call the police?
Absolutely.
Really? Amazing. Hello.
How you guys doing? Good. I'm be in front of 26. How?
How's it going?
Good. How are you guys?
Doing good.
What's going on today?
What's going on?
Filming up and down the business.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Any reason why?
Any reason why?
Yeah, I mean, some of the business owners are just concerned.
Oh, I got you. No, it's just what I felt like doing
concerned.
today. It's a beautiful day.
Okay. Do you guys have any ID on you?
Do I have any ID?
Yeah.
I always have ID.
Okay, can I see it?
Why would I give you ID?
It's just a routine thing, just asking for ID. I mean, what are you guys filming?
I just told you I'm out enjoying a beautiful day, taking some video.
Okay, well, I mean, some of the business owners are concerned. Some of the businesses have been vandalized before, they've been robbed before, so I mean, just addressing those concerns.
Okay, well, do you have
any reason why you guys don't want to provide any ID?
Is there any reason that you would think
I just told you why.
No,
so they're concerned.
You're not letting me finish my. You're not letting me. Let's keep it a cordial conversation.
It is a cordial conversation, but you're trying to run this conversation. That's not how this is going to go.
Is this a
But you're trying to run this conversation. That's not how this is going to go.
Is this a consensual conversation?
This video opens with a line that frames the entire legal issue before a single badge number has been collected. Do you guys have any ID on you? The auditor's response. Do I have any ID? Yeah, I always have ID. Can I see it? Why would I give you ID? Not combative, not hostile, just the legally precise counter to a demand that has no lawful basis. Officer Dela Cruz is at a public sidewalk in front of a luxury store in Englewood, New Jersey. The store owner called police because someone was filming outside. No crime, no trespass, no legal basis for an ID demand, just a camera and a concerned business owner. The auditor gives Dela Cruz one opportunity to explain her legal authority. She cannot. Is there any reason why you guys don't want to provide any ID? He names the only reason that matters. The question itself has no legal foundation. Then he closes it permanently. Dela Cruz needs to learn when she's got legal authority, lawful authority, to ask someone for their identification. You can ask, but you can't demand it. Badge 259, collected for the complaint. 2 encounters across this video. Different New Jersey towns. Different officers. The same pattern. Business calls police. Officer demands ID without a crime. Auditor names the legal standard. Officer cannot answer.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, then you have a nice day. Excuse me, can I ask your name and badge number so I know who was here?
I received 176. You want here? 176.
What's going on?
Can I get your name and badge number so I know who was here?
Officer Dela Cruz, 259. How you doing, Sarge?
Okay, thank you. How boss?
What's up, gentlemen? What's going on?
I'm out enjoying the day, taking some video, man.
What you guys doing?
They're taking videos in front of all the businesses.
Yeah?
Businesses have called, concerned because, you know, they've been burglarized in the past. So I just asked them for my ID. They don't want to provide it. They're not really saying what specifically why they're out here. They're just saying they're out here
176 also
enjoying
en
the
route.
day.
Is there a specific purpose, or you just like the store?
I'm just out taking some video and taking some pictures, man. That's all it is. Whatever you see, that's it.
That's
Simple
fine.
as that.
Well, no, I mean, that's
Well,
fine.
you know what? And I don't want to take it out on you. Your officer's a little uneducated about the law here, and coming off a little. Your job description tells you to de-escalate things, not escalate. And you're trying to ramp it up. So I'm
Am
just gonna,
I? I'm not
gonna
the one who
speak
has
to
the
you.
camera in my face.
This is what I mean. So I'm
Alright.
just going to stick with the Sarge here.
Well,
I'll tell you exactly what I'm doing.
it's
Okay?
fine. I'm all ears.
I'm out on the sidewalk,
Right.
taking pictures and video.
Of what I'm saying?
Taking pictures and video
Just
of anything
general
I can
video.
see.
Okay.
Anything I can see.
Right. All right. Well, listen. The reason why I'm asking is sometimes you get freelancers. They're doing certain things. They're writing an article. Sometimes I'm just asking what the backstory
No, and
is.
that's exactly right. And I instructed Officer Dela Cruz here, who doesn't want to let me get a word in edgewise, that this is a consensual conversation. So I don't have to answer any of her questions, but I was trying to be cordial until she started getting an attitude.
Well, the complainant
So-
felt a little uneasy because the camera was stuck right side of their face, so that's why they called.
Well, that's what they told you.
No, timepiece.
Yeah, that's what they told you.
All right.
Yeah.
So you guys just independent guys? Or you
Just out taking some video and pictures, man. That's all I'm doing.
you understand how vague that is, right?
Well, I understand how vague it is when she tells me she's demanding my identification because she thinks I'm going to rob a store
Listen,
or vandalize a store.
You're deflecting.
No, I'm not.
Do you understand how vague it is when I come out? This is not a usual occurrence.
Well, I'm going to tell you the same
Let me
thing.
finish my thought, though. Normally, I'm on the avenue all the time, right? The avenue is what we kind of colloquially call Palisade Avenue.
Okay.
Right? And I've been employed with the PD for like 19 years.
Okay.
This may be the second time that there's two guys with professional cameras and mics. So I'm just kind of inquiring what the backstory is. So when you tell me, no, we're just taking video. Well, yeah, obviously you are, but I don't know if you're working for someone. I don't know if you're
Well, it doesn't.
A
That's
movie.
what difference?
No, it doesn't matter at all.
Yeah,
I'm just
it doesn't
asking.
matter.
I'm just asking so that it would make sense.
Well, all I'm telling you is like, and you're being very respectful, so I'm going to give you that
I
respect
don't have
back.
a reason not to.
But all I'm telling you is that, as I stated, this is a consensual conversation. I don't have to answer any of your questions,
not saying
but
you're
I'm
doing anything wrong, by the
voluntarily
way,
to
you
just
know?
try to quell your fears and let you know what I'm doing.
I'm not saying you did anything wrong. I'm just
I know I
trying
didn't
to
do anything wrong.
understand.
And this officer right here, Dela Cruz, needs to learn when she's got legal authority, lawful authority to ask someone for their identification.
I can ask
You
anyone
can't.
for ID.
You can ask, but you can't demand it.
I didn't demand it. I asked you for it.
Really?
Yeah.
You got to keep an eye on her. No, seriously. And I need you. What's your badge number?
259. I said it. You
259.
recorded it,
Okay,
right?
I need it for
You
the I need it for the
recorded
complaint.
You
So
recorded
thank
it.
you.
That's
Can I
fine.
have your name
You
and
can
badge
have
number,
it.
please?
Fernandez 254.
Thank you. Appreciate you, Fernandez. And I'm sorry, Sergeant.
210.
210. What was your name?
Restrepo.
Restrepo. You've been very respectful and professional, and that gets the conversation going.
I'm just
This gets people in trouble.
I'm just trying to figure out what the story is.
That's it. That's all it is, man. Just whatever you can see. I'm not trying to secret
So
myself.
do you know who called and why? Are you privy to that or no?
I have no idea who calls
Okay,
you.
all right.
I have no idea.
All right.
All right. I appreciate you, man.
No problem.
Yep.
Back up 256 in front of police headquarters.
Asked them kind of like, what's the story?
What's up, man? It's been a while.
And LT, I just want to let you know, is it Marty or Marty? Marte. I want to say your name pronounced. My name's Jason.
Jason.
And I just want you to know that this conversation, I would have given you a lot more information and been a lot more forthcoming about what I'm doing if Officer Dela Cruz here didn't decide to try to walk up and demand things that she can't demand. She's demanding to know why I'm doing what I'm doing. She's demanding identification from me. I'm just out on the sidewalk taking pictures, man. That's all it is.
It's just a little
It's all
peculiar,
about
you know. It's a
perception.
little peculiar. Is all I'm saying, you know. I'm not saying anything. It's just odd. People get freaked out by it.
Right, but like I said, and I've said it to both of these officers, your sergeant's very respectful, very professional. And what I said is that this is a consensual conversation. So legally, I don't have to answer any of your questions, but I don't want to be that guy. So I'm trying to be
I hope not.
respectful.
Okay, great.
Well, I mean, I
That's
could.
good. Right.
There's nothing I don't have to answer questions.
Oh, we know this. I've
Right?
been doing this a
But
long
I'm
time.
trying to be
So I know.
courteous with you because your sergeant's being courteous. So far, you're being courteous, and I give back what I get.
Okay.
So that's a good lesson in life for Officer Dela Cruz to learn. You know, your policy tells you to de-escalate, not to try to ramp things up.
Okay.
Right? There's nothing going on here, so don't try to create something. Is all I'm saying.
All right.
It's odd. Is all we're trying to do.
It's really not. Well, I'll
It's
give you
not
an
odd
example.
to you because you're in the driver's seat,
If
but
there
to
was
us.
a guy riding down the street, riding down the sidewalk, whatever, on a unicycle with a pink tutu on, could you go demand him, ask him why? That's odd.
If they're breaking any laws, yeah.
That's not breaking the law. That's what I'm saying. So as long as somebody's not breaking the law,
they may be breaking the traffic laws.
But
Then,
if-
you know.
maybe that's why I said sidewalk, street. I didn't know what.
But if
they
our
wanted.
business owners are feeling threatened, they feel harassed. If they have a camera inside their face because of concern
No,
of
you still
what
have
has
to-
happened before in that business, then yeah, I can address
No,
it.
you
Ask
can't.
you what's going on.
You can't
Why
pin
are you out
anything that's
here? I
happened
can
before.
ask.
No. You
I'm
still
not
don't get
pinning
it.
anything.
She needs a
I'm
conversation,
asking.
LT. And I'll be filing a complaint so you can.
This segment delivers the most complete officer education in this entire video, because Sergeant Restrepo and Lieutenant Marte handled the encounter the way it should have been handled from the first second Dela Cruz arrived, and the contrast between all three officers is documented on camera. The sergeant arrives. The auditor explains the encounter directly. Your officer's a little uneducated about the law here, and coming off a little. Your job description tells you to de-escalate things, not escalate. You're trying to ramp it up. The sergeant listens. He does not defend Dela Cruz. He asks questions. The lieutenant arrives, a 19-year veteran of the Englewood PD. He confirms that in his entire career on this avenue, he has seen two people with professional cameras and microphones, this being one of them. He asks what the backstory is. The auditor confirms, this is a consensual conversation. He does not have to answer, but he will voluntarily explain, because the sergeant and lieutenant are being respectful. Then the auditor delivers the line that the encounter has been building toward. This officer right here, Dela Cruz, needs to learn when she's got legal authority, lawful authority, to ask someone for their identification. I can ask anyone for ID. You can ask, but you can't demand it. The lieutenant confirms a conversation with Dela Cruz is called for. Badge numbers from all three officers, Dela Cruz 259, Fernandez 254, Restrepo 210, are documented. And the auditor's parting message to Dela Cruz is the last word in this segment. We're going to keep our eyes on you. Value your job.
Handle it that way.
Well, if that's what you want to do. That's perfect.
Well, it's not what I want to do, but she's not giving me any choice. She's still not getting it.
Yeah, but the thing
This is a
that you're
dangerous
not-
person to have on the
The thing is
street.
that you're not listening. I know exactly what you're trying to do, but
You don't know exactly what I'm
if
trying
you
to do.
owned a business,
Okay.
and you see somebody
I
with
do own a business.
camera,
I do own a business.
fine. But let me speak. If you own a business, and you do, you see somebody with a video camera
Out on a public sidewalk.
in your face,
No, that's
you
not. That's
wanna
not what
know.
happened. That's not what happened. That's what. Let me just.
Your name is Jason?
Let me just finish the conversation with the LT real quick. I just want you to think about it over your career. How many 911 calls have come in where people dramatize and ramp it all
Oh,
up to
yeah,
get
of
you guys
course.
there quick?
All the time.
So what people are telling you might not always be accurate.
Right, but we
so
still
you
have to come.
You have to. You
We
have to
have
see
to
what you
respond.
see, and you have to understand what you understand.
Exactly.
Anybody can tell you anything.
Yeah, but I just want you to understand the same thing.
Well, I know what
That's not
I
the
know
law.
what I did, and I know what I didn't
Jason,
do.
just for the
So
record.
I know I didn't do anything there.
Just for the record,
Sure.
I'm not saying you did anything illegal at all. Do you not find it peculiar that you're the only two people on the entire business district with two professional grade cameras
Well, I'll
and
tell you
microphones?
what. I'll answer that. I've been a professional photographer for 35 years. That's what I graduated from college for.
Okay.
You don't know.
Well, they don't need to know that.
You're missing the point, though, Jason.
No, I'm not
You're
missing the point. No.
Okay,
no.
check this out. I'll just give it for
Okay,
the sake
tell
of
me,
argument, right? If you know me to be an officer, I'm describing myself as an officer.
Yes, sir.
Okay, right. Say I was out here dancing ballet in uniform. That'd be peculiar. You'd have some questions. It's not wrong. It's not illegal. Actually, it's not even unethical.
Right.
But it's odd. That's
So
only,
now,
that's
so
my
now
only-
what would happen if I called the police home? You're out here dancing ballet in a uniform, threatening people, and you never did that.
If you called,
and you never did that.
Well, someone would obviously gonna ask me, hey, what's going on with the threats? You know, that's going on with the threats. Is it true? Is it not true? You know, there's a story.
You're not getting ID, so get that out of your head.
If there's a story behind, you know, what you're doing, and I don't know why there's some apprehension between what's actually going on and the story behind it, and that's fine. I can't compel you to tell me what the backstory is.
I'll tell you what the apprehension is, because I only answer questions when I'm lawfully obligated to. There's no reason for me to
That's
answer
fine,
questions.
man. It's
I'm
just
out
fine.
enjoying a day. If somebody wants to call you up and exaggerate what I'm doing and tell you a
And that-
story,
Jason, that's fine.
That puts you guys in a bad place, could put me in a bad place, and creates a dangerous situation for everybody.
Jason, you're right. It just doesn't make it any less peculiar.
I don't think it's that peculiar.
Of course not, because you're in the driver's seat. You know exactly what's going on. But to the outsider, it's peculiar.
You gotta, these days, everybody in this, maybe 30, 40 years ago, you might have had an argument. These days, everybody's got a camera in their pocket.
But not
There's
professional.
YouTube, there's
If
Instagram,
you
there's...
look around, yeah.
Yeah, but we get video, people videographs all the time, but usually it's on their phone. No one has a professional grade camera, and they're just out there, shooting the breeze, recording random businesses,
I don't know.
I'm telling you, I do this for a living.
There's not a lot of people that do it. Sure,
Yeah.
more people should. More
All
people
right,
should.
man. Whatever you say.
Well, I don't know. Are you into history? Do you like history at all?
Yeah.
All right. So an example I always use is imagine if
You
we
can
could
clear if you want. You can clear.
imagine if we could watch a video
Yeah.
of Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid coming in off the trail on their horses, going into the saloon to get a cold drink. Wouldn't that be cool?
Of course.
There is no video because there were no cameras.
Of course, yeah.
So 100 years from now, people will be able to see what was going on in Englewood, New Jersey.
Okay.
That's all.
All right.
You know, sometimes a cigar is just a cigar, man. There's nothing nefarious going on.
No, and I'm not suggesting there is. I'm just looking
No,
for
you've
the
been very
backstory.
respectful. I told you. Yeah, for sure. That's why you're a sergeant. That's why you're a lieutenant. And that's why you'll probably never be.
That wasn't nice.
That's all right.
That's not
No.
called for.
I'm happy where I am.
Well, you know, that's all subjective. It is called for. And I think a good conversation with her is called for. She's still talking to you about ID.
I
All
said
right.
you're upset because you did because
I'm upset because you're out there on the streets creating dangerous situations for people. We're going to keep our eyes on you there, Dela Cruz. Yeah, we're going to keep our eyes on you. There'll be more people coming to check on you. Do the right thing. We're always watching. We're always watching. Value your job.
Officer Dela Cruz escalated the tension right away by demanding ID and asking why he was filming without providing any legal basis, a move that risked ramping up the entire encounter. His firm response, asserting his rights in a consensual encounter, distinguishing between suspicious and illegal, and requesting her name, badge number, and a commitment to proper training, became the strategy that maintained accountability, reduced conflict, and protected personal rights. If you support Amagansett Press, drop a 5 in the comments.
Look how this guy parked. How you doing? So what? I didn't hear you. What am I doing? You asked me, what am I doing? Yeah.
They hire you?
I can't hear you.
They hire you for it?
Did they hire me for it?
Yeah.
No.
Why are you doing it?
Because I'm doing the story.
The story?
Yeah.
Regarding what?
This video comes from the channel New Jersey Audit. He was simply standing on the public sidewalk filming the front of a bank when an employee inside called the police for suspicious behavior. Even though there was no sign of a crime, the officer immediately approached and detained him, kicking off an investigation with zero legal basis.
Regarding what?
So what?
Regarding what?
I'm doing the story.
All right, about what?
I don't need to tell you my story.
Huh?
I don't want to tell you my story.
Okay, the reason I'm asking is you have a mask on.
Okay.
And you're filming a bank. We've had a lot of issues at the bank. It actually
Yeah, it's
recently
getting
come
cold out here, man.
Huh?
It's getting cold out here.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah. Other than that, everything okay?
Yeah, what are you drinking?
My drink. What's your name and badge number?
Kyle, 229.
Who?
My first name's Kyle. My badge is 229.
Nice to meet you.
Huh?
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
You too.
We good? You might want to go talk to them.
Huh?
You might probably want to. I didn't call you.
I think you did.
Oh,
As soon as
somebody.
my partner gets here, I'm gonna go talk to them.
Oh, okay. Look how you park, man. Somebody can't. You blocking?
You don't like my parking job?
No, you blocking one, two,
I want to make
three.
sure people get front row parking. I can take the back
Blocking,
spots.
blocking 3 parking spots,
You're not
man.
worth the front spot, you know?
Yeah, I'm just taking pictures, man.
You got a YouTube channel?
What's YouTube?
You know what YouTube is?
Nah. You said you waiting for a partner?
What's up?
You said you waiting for your partner?
Yeah.
Oh, what happened? You got. You don't want to talk to these people?
No one.
Your partner bigger than you?
What's up?
Your partner bigger than you?
I don't know who's coming yet. Why?
Oh, yeah, I asked you that you said you were waiting for your partner. I thought he was bigger than you. You should be able to take care of this situation. This is an easy situation here.
I don't want to leave you out here without me here.
Why not? I'm being detained.
Yeah, you're not going to leave you out here.
I'm being detained?
Yeah.
For what crime?
Huh?
What crime am I being detained for?
I don't know what you're doing here.
The Englewood encounter closes with the most unexpected and genuinely interesting moment in any recent audit video. A history lesson delivered to a lieutenant that makes the entire encounter make complete sense. The auditor asks if the lieutenant likes history. He does. Imagine if we could watch a video of Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid coming off the trail, their horses going into the saloon to get a cold drink. Wouldn't that be cool? Of course. There is no video because there were no cameras. So, 100 years from now, people will be able to see what was going on in Englewood, New Jersey. That's all. The lieutenant's response is the honest acknowledgement that closes this encounter without confrontation. You know, sometimes a cigar is just a cigar, man. There's nothing nefarious going on. Then the video shifts to Wall Township, New Jersey, where a first-week officer approaches a man filming outside a bank, confirms immediately that he has no idea what the man is doing, and then detains him anyway. The reason? Filming a bank while wearing a mask is suspicious. The auditor's response: "It's getting cold out here, man. Corona coming back." A mask, in cold weather, used as a justification for detention. The encounter that follows will take 25 minutes, involve 3 officers, a trespass form, and a public easement argument, all for a man who was on his way to Target.
But why am I being detained, though? You detain me, you don't know what I'm doing. That's what I'm saying. Why am I being detained?
My investigation's still on there.
Okay, but what reasonable suspicion that I committed any crime? You detaining me.
I don't know what you're doing here, and you don't want to explain it to me, so I'm going to say...
I don't have to. I don't have to explain anything. But you detaining me.
Do you agree that what you're doing here is a little odd?
Out
of the ordinary, I should say.
It's a lot of things that's odd. I was riding down the street. I saw one guy walking back and forth, back and forth. I thought that was odd, too.
Why didn't you call us?
Call for what? He ain't doing nothing wrong.
Hit by a car. You should have called us.
He was walking on the sidewalk, just like me.
You're not doing your right as a civilian for not calling the police then.
He was walking on the sidewalk. He wasn't doing nothing wrong. Just walking back and forth on the sidewalk.
You just said something out of the ordinary, right?
It was kind of odd that he was walking back and forth.
That's our job as police, right? So
Is it kind of odd for me to just stay in here and take pictures?
Yeah.
It is.
Of a bank that
You never stood
robbed,
You never stood nowhere near a bank and took pictures and anything.
Mask on? No.
Cold out here, man. Corona coming back, man. You know, a couple years ago, y'all probably give us a ticket from not wearing a mask. You know?
Not me.
Yeah, so, you know, the Corona coming back is getting cold. It's like 50-some degrees. Weather changing quick. And now you detaining me for nothing. You got a business card?
No, but I got no problem writing down my name for you.
All right. Name, badge number, call for service number. Where you guys police department at? Where you guys police department?
Where's our police department?
Yeah.
Right up above.
On my webcam.
You want to check it out?
I'll check it out probably after I'm done with you. After you detain me. Your partner taking a long time. You know there's no emergency, so he's probably taking this. He probably stopped to get coffee first. Nobody in the bank even came out and speak to me. I was just out here taking, nobody even spoke to me. They would have came out, I would have told them what I was doing.
What is it you're doing?
Taking pictures. I'm working on the story. I told you I'm working on the story, taking pictures. I never been in this town.
Of just this location?
All over. I never been in this town. I never been to Wall Township. I never even heard of Wall Township. So I decided to come through. I travel. I travel all around New Jersey.
Where are you from?
Upper U.S.
Upper U.S.?
Yeah.
Where's that?
Upper U.S.
What?
Like Upper U.S. Upper USA. So am I free to go? That's crazy. You chaining me for nothing. Not gonna look good, man. Not gonna look good on Wall Township. Look, some people can't even park. They gotta go all the way around the park because of you parking like that.
Yeah.
You could have easily pulled in one spot. And you ain't even got your lights on. There's no emergency here. This an easy situation you could have took care. You could have came out here and said this man doing nothing. You could have been about your business. I could have been on my way by now. That's your partner right there?
Looks like it.
Your partner gonna look at you like, man, get back in your car and go back to work. Is he the sergeant, supervisor? We might need to get the supervisor out here too.
You want to talk to him?
Yeah. You can call him out here. Why not?
hang with him?
Am I free to go down?
No.
How you doing? How you doing, ma'am?
Good.
Can I get your name and badge number?
Patrolman Clayton.
Clayton.
Number 213.
How you doing, ma'am?
You can't complain.
It's a beautiful day.
Right?
November, still beautiful outside.
Yep.
Your officer here detained me for no reason.
Okay. What are you up to today? Anything good?
Just taking pictures, recording.
Just of anything?
Anything. I never been to Wall Township, so I
Nothing.
just came out and just took pictures. I was walking by, saw this bank started taking pictures here. I was about to keep moving, but then this guy pulled up and detained me for no reason.
So you were taking pictures of the
I was taking pictures and recording. I was recording. Yeah, I was doing the story. I was recording people coming in and out. I was recording people using the ATM and recording the bank. Right here on the sidewalk. Never went on their property, never went inside, never spoke to anybody. But he came out and detained me.
You said you're doing a story?
Yeah,
On what?
on the town.
On Wall Township in general?
Mhm.
Where are you from?
Upper U.S.
Upper U.S.? Is that Houston?
I go all the way around New Jersey and just do stories.
Gotcha.
I travel around the whole New Jersey.
How long have you been in Wall?
Today,
Just today?
maybe a couple hours. Yeah, I'm just
Are
in
you
the,
walking? Yeah?
somewhat. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't like to answer too many questions.
So what did you say your name was?
I never told you.
Oh, you didn't? What is it?
I'm not giving.
Alright, so the bank doesn't want you here. We got the sergeant coming down for you.
Okay.
Right? They're gonna fill out a notice against trespass.
Okay.
They don't want you here on the property any longer.
I don't want them on. I'm not on their property.
You are.
I'm not.
This is their property.
It's public sidewalk. Am I supposed to walk in the street?
Huh?
Do I supposed to walk in the street?
Are you supposed to?
I'm asking you, if I'm walking down the street, do I supposed to walk inside the street?
That's correct.
I'm supposed to walk in the street.
State of New Jersey, yes.
That's what you're telling me. I'm supposed to walk in the street.
You let me talk. I'll
All
explain
right,
to you
yes,
the law in New
explain,
Jersey.
and I'll talk.
Yeah, so in the state of New Jersey, you walk against traffic. Yes.
In the
If you're on a
street.
bicycle, you ride with traffic. Yeah, that's correct.
In the street.
Yeah, so if you'd like to walk that way after you leave here, you're gonna walk right here in the shoulder.
You see that public? You see that public utility pole?
Yeah, I see it.
You see where I'm lined up at with it?
Huh?
You see where I'm lined up at with it? So that means past that public utility pole is their property, correct? And
I don't know what you're arguing here.
I'm arguing that this is public easement here.
I'm not here to argue. If you can argue
All
whatever
right,
you
well.
like in court.
Okay.
Okay.
You detaining me. You
you're
gonna
not
argue
really-
with them in court.
You're not free to
You
leave.
gonna argue with them in
Sure.
court. And you're gonna get a couple of complaints.
Sure.
You working backwards, man. You supposed to find a crime, look for a crime, and then detain. You don't detain and then look for a crime. That's backwards, man. How long you been in? How long you been off? How long you been
I
officer?
just started. This is my first week.
It look like it's your first day.
It's my first week.
That seem like
Yeah.
it, man.
I just started.
Seem like it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a public sidewalk right here. It's a public easement. It's supposed to be one on both sides of the street. You see, that's public easement. You see the public utility poles? You think the bank put these poles here? You about to make your whole department look bad.
I'm sorry, what'd you say before you give your ID? What?
I said before I give him ID, I'll take the arrest. I have him just arrest me.
Why would you want that?
Why would he want ID though? He don't need to know. If he give me his ID, I'll give him mine. We could trade IDs. How you doing, Sergeant?
I'm good. How about yourself?
I'm good. Name back.
This segment features the most legally backwards detention announcement in this entire video, and the auditor names it in the most direct possible terms. You working backwards, man. You supposed to find a crime, look for a crime, and then detain. You don't detain and then look for a crime. That's backwards, man. Kyle, badge 229, is in his first week on the job. He confirms it himself. The auditor's response: seems like it, man. Seems like it. Not as an insult, as a legal diagnosis. A first-week officer who does not know the constitutional standard for detention is a danger to every person he contacts. Kyle waits for his partner. The partner arrives. The partner is a woman, Controlman Clayton, badge 213, who asks the same questions Kyle asked and gets the same answers. Then a trespass form is produced. The bank wants him off their property. The auditor names the legal impossibility. I'm not on their property. This is public easement. He points to the public utility pole. He explains that anything on the sidewalk side of that pole is public easement. The bank did not install those poles. The public did, and the public has a right to stand there. You think the bank put these poles here? Then the most legally significant moment in this segment. You about to make your whole department look bad. Controlman Clayton's response. She is filing the trespass form anyway.
Number?
I'm surprised you haven't popped up on my For You page yet. Maybe you have, I don't know.
Where?
The For You page. Usually I get a bunch of the audit, like the popular page on the TikTok.
Oh, okay.
Usually it'll pop up, you know?
Mr. Thunder, would you like to sign my form?
Nah.
No? Okay, I'll be right with you.
What are you giving me a form for?
Just because the bank doesn't want you on the property anymore.
But I never been on the property. I told him I never been on the property. I never been in the property. I told him they're on the sidewalk. I can't believe this guy detained me, man. I was about to hit down the Target, right down the street, but until he stopped me and detained me. I'm probably head down there once.
We'll probably call, to be honest.
Who?
Target.
No, I'm just going to Target. No, I'm not.
Prior to this, have you ever been to Wall Township before?
No, never. Never been out here. Never been out here. Like, these towns so small. You could be in this town, ride 3 blocks and be in a whole nother town.
Yeah.
It's so small.
Especially on 35, so Wall, and then you get to, if you go further south, you go to Brick.
Yeah, that's why I was a Brick.
Belmar, Neptune, Asbury,
yeah.
all that. It all kind of disperses up there a little bit. Our town's bigger if you go west, so you'll be in Wall for a while if you go that way.
Yeah, I went I think
North
2
and
weekends
south,
ago. I went to Point Pleasant, Belmar.
So you did Belmar already?
Yeah, I think I was in, what's that? Little
Beach.
Silver, I
Little
think.
Silver.
Yeah, Little Silver.
That's probably
Tinton
where
Falls.
Tinton Falls.
Yeah, I be all over, man.
They're close. Yeah, they get tight there.
Yeah, they be close together. Yep.
All right, sir.
I appreciate
Good, all right?
you
Stay
for
safe,
coming
man.
out, man. I
Of
appreciate
course.
you for coming out, man. She gonna have stripes one day. She gonna have some stripes one day.
Mr. Thunder.
I know she gonna have stripes one day.
All right, sir. Be safe. All right.
Just
All
so
right.
you know, they don't want you on the property.
Never been on the property
If you're
again.
back on the property.
I
you'll
never
be
been
placed
on it. What
arrest,
you mean
all
back?
right? Huh?
What you mean back on the property? I never
I'll
been
give
there.
it to you. You're on the property, right?
All right. So you still
Simple
need my
enough.
ID?
I would love it, sure.
I know
That'd
you
be
would.
great, yeah.
Y'all love ID, man. Y'all
But
love
I
it.
want to explain something to you. If I knew that I could demand your ID and you didn't give it to me, you would have already been under arrest.
You can't demand it without a crime, though.
Correct.
You know
When there
your
was
job.
suspicious
Come on. You know
activity-
your
I
job.
I do.
I know it too.
Just to make sure you're aware, okay?
Suspicious-
I know what I'm doing.
Suspicious
If I
is
had the
nothing.
right to demand your ID, we're going to place you in arrest 45 minutes ago.
Probably would have locked me up a long time ago. You had the right.
correct.
I'm pretty
As
sure
long
you
as we're on
probably
the
would
same
have.
page.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you would
All right,
have.
so have a better day.
You will
And
too.
Please stay on the property so we don't get called back here for
Yeah,
it.
I'm gonna stay right here.
Thank you, Chopper.
I'm gonna stay right here.
All right, sir.
All right, have a good day, ma'am. I'm gonna stay right here until you get called back.
And this is how the Wall Township encounter ends, with a sergeant arriving, confirming the legal standard the auditor has been citing for 25 minutes, and a first-week officer learning on camera what he should have known before ever approaching. The sergeant arrives. The auditor's opening. Surprised you haven't popped up on my For You page yet. Then, name and badge number. Business conducted with composure. The trespass form is declined. The auditor explains, I never been on the property. The bank's property line is the utility pole. The public easement is where he was standing. A form trespassing him from property he never entered does not carry any legal weight. Then the sergeant delivers the confirmation that closes this entire video. If I knew that I could demand your ID and you didn't give it to me, you would have already been under arrest. You can't demand it without a crime. Correct? The auditor, you know your job. The sergeant, I do. I know it too. 25 minutes. 3 officers. A first-week cop who detained someone without a crime. A trespass form for property never entered. And a sergeant who arrived at the end and confirmed, in one sentence, everything the auditor had been saying from the beginning. I'm going to stay right here until you get called back.